Welcome to this edition of the Need to Ride. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. So let's just get started. Welcome back to the Need to Ride, and today we're going to go over the GS 1200. This is not the adventure model, but it's still an adventure bike. It holds 5.3 gallons, so still has some decent range. This is a very unique bike. This is a breakthrough year, I will call it, for the GS. It was the year that they put the 6-speed in it, so it made it much more versatile. It's a very good transmission. It's very smooth for an older bike. I was very impressed with it when I first took a little ride, which I'll show you later in the video. My first ride on this bike. It's an 1170cc boxer engine. It puts out 105 horse. It's a pretty stout little motorcycle. It's not a sport bike, but for everyday riding around, going to small trails and things like that, this bike will get it done. Would I take it on a big ride? I don't know how far a ride I would take it, but I would take it on a decent ride. It definitely would do a few hours. I don't know if I would take it up to Wisconsin like I took my RT, but I haven't ridden it enough to tell you if I would or I would not do that. So this is a very sought after motorcycle because of the fact that it's still an oil head. It's very simple. It's easy to work on, and it's a very bare bones motorcycle. It has none of all the fancy frobbles that the other bikes have, or whatever you want to call them, the trinkets that go on these later adventure bikes. And it rides very different from anything I've ever ridden before. I got it back. I had the fuel pump put in it because it was on a recall. I was doing it myself, and then I stumbled on the fact that it was on a recall. They did the rear hub as well, and they did the front brake lines. And they did all the fluids, except they didn't change the oil, which is another story. I did lose my fuel strip mount. There's a little bracket that goes in here. It goes through the top. You cannot get them. If anybody has one, let me know. I'm probably going to take the bike back apart and put a float system on it. I'll try that. I've seen some videos on that, and it looks like it works pretty decently. Right now, I'm just going to have to keep track of the mileage, like I used to do back in the day. I put the Michelin Anarchy tires on it, and all said and done, the visit to BMW cost me about $800, which wasn't too bad, and most of it was the tires. The other things now, I put these new panniers on it. These are really, really nice. Really like them. I bought these off of eBay. Another great eBay buy for $500. What can I say? I'm batting 1,000 on eBay right now. I got a lot of good stuff off of them the last month, and these panniers are one of them. This bike runs absolutely beautiful now, and I'll give you a quick start and show you what it sounds like. Listen to that. It doesn't get much better than that, does it? Starts right up. I think it's got a great sound. It's got the stock exhaust, but I like it. I think it does really good. So let's take a quick walk around the bike, and I'll show you what makes this bike interesting. So let's start with the engine, right? So here's the engine. It's the oil head. It's the last of, I'll call it, the air-cooled engines. It doesn't have any radiator, so has no liquid cooling, which makes this bike lighter. It's around, I don't know, like 510 pounds. It's a 1170cc boxer engine. Provides 105 horsepower and 85 pounds-feet of torque. It's a really nice engine. Now look how clean that is. That's just crazy. So here's the telelever suspension. You can see I've showed this before on the other bikes that I have. But That's what gives it, the suspension is all the way, the pivot points are all the way in the back of the bike. So it's somewhere around here. That's where the pivot point is. And back here is the power lever. And get that out of the way. This bar stabilizes the back of the bike. So when you hit power, the bike doesn't rise. It's kind of stays level. So those are the really cool things about it. Again, it's got a 5.3 gallon tank. You know, it comes with, you know, the basic gauges. It's got a tack, which is right here. The tack is here and the speedo is here. I moved this thing because that was just, it was over here and it was blocking the speedo. Doesn't make any sense. And you have your LCD display here, and you can go through your different modes. This bike does have ABS, and as you can see, it's got all the little things that you need: the range, your average speed, how much fuel you're consuming, the temperature of the bike, things like that. Really nice. This lights up at night really, really well. I like it. Very easy to work on. Everything's right here. So if you need to do anything, it's not too bad. This bike is completely stock. There is nothing on this bike that I've touched. So this is the way it came from the factory. Even these are factory panners that came with the bike. I tried to get them from the owner, but you know, the original owner was a little hard to deal with on eBay. But I didn't take their panners. I took the stock panners that came with it. I bought them off another eBayer. So that's the bike. I mean, you can see it doesn't have this. It has the spoke wheels, and they're in beautiful, beautiful shape, as you can see. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It's got the monoshock in the back. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this bike. Everything works except the fuel gauge because of what I said, the BMW dealer losing it. But we'll figure that out. Let's take it for my first real official ride now that it's stopped raining. And we'll go from there. I'm going to tell you this. Just taking it up the road, it seemed real easy. Look at this Tesla. How slow can you go? What are you going to do, 20 miles an hour on this 45-mile-an-hour road? My Lord. Yeah, it's pretty nice, actually. Very different than the other three. How to explain it? The RS and the S are similar, you know, because they're a little bit more crouched, but the S with a little bit more leg room than the RS. The RT, I'd say it's similar to the RT, except that you really sit in this, and it's a wider stance, and the gearbox is completely different. This is a nice gearbox. I'm kind of surprised how smooth it is for an 08. It doesn't clunk into first gear like my RT does. It's interesting. Well, at least we'll see. This did a little clunk now, but I was going along. But at the light, the RT clunks. This I don't think it does that. We'll find out as I ride it. Yeah, the going into first gear it's nothing. There's like a very little clunk. It's a little one. Not like the RT. RT, man, that thing clunks. The other two, not so bad. They're not as clunky. Yeah, this bike, very different. Very, very different riding. It definitely have to steer it into the turns more, I noticed. So that's kind of a weird thing. I wonder if anybody else has noticed that over the other bikes they've ridden. This bike is tight. Wow. It's like brand new. It's much more raw. This motorcycle. It's more like old school. I really like it. This is an awesome motorcycle, I think. Feels pretty comfortable too. I'm surprised. I thought the seat would be less comfortable. But you know, I'm only out 5 minutes. But it's not screaming at me to say, oh, I know after an hour or two it's gonna have the same problem. Yeah, I have it all seats. I get that rash ass. All kinds of names for it. I did notice that you got to be careful with the front brake. Front brake's aggressive. You're not grabbing a whole bunch of brake. Let me put it that way. I'm two fingering it, and it's more than enough for me to put power to the brakes. You know, you're not grabbing a handful of handle there. It's just not. That's not what you're doing. Yeah, it has big torque off the bottom. It's very torquey motor, but surprisingly smooth for a big boxer. I thought the older boxers weren't that smooth, but this is. I guess this is, you know, still relatively newer generation boxer. This is the last of the. Well, that's not true. I'm not gonna say it's the last of the oil heads, but I think they're still making them. But last of the oil heads in the GS models, is that true? I think that's true. Very cool back here. Yeah, that's annoying. That's like in my way. I'm sure you guys looking at this bike, you're like, that's annoying, that thing. What's going on there? Well, let me flip this up too. It does pop. It's got a little pop in it. I think it still needs injectors. I'll run it for a while, but I might have to put a set of injectors to this thing. Once in a while I hear a little pop. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera. You know, when I let off the gas, it goes boom. It's not annoying, but it is there. No, that's not my turn. Surprisingly comfortable. I'm going to do the hard pack roads. The mechanic, he said it like 3 times to me now. I've been, you know, because I've been down there a couple of times with this bike. And, oh, you don't ride that in the summertime in the dirt. They overheat. Well, they get it really hot anyway. And, the oil light starts to blink because it starts to thin the oil out. I'm like, okay. But then today he said something that was interesting. Oh, you get stuck in the sand and you're trying to get out, and then, you know, you overheat the airhead, so the oil head engine, and then you start to get the blinking oil light. Well, number one, everything I've read about these bikes, you don't want them in the sand. They're too heavy. It's not a sand machine, right? That's the first thing. And I'm not going in the sand, because if I go in the sand, you're gonna drop it. And I picked up the RT in Wisconsin, and that was a load. That thing was a load. And this is a little lighter, but it's still gonna be a load. KTM didn't wave. Okay, you don't have to wave. That's totally optional. Yeah, it looks like the sweet spot for those engines between 3,000 and 4,000. Wow, what a nice running motorcycle. I gotta get the front windshield too. That is but ugly. I'm in 4th gear. I really can't see how fast I'm going. It looks like 50. The thing's in my way. It literally is smack dab in my way. Who would put that there? That's not smart. Let's say it that way. That's not smart. This is gotta move. I gotta get another. I might just get another whole GPS anyway. That's old school. Be going on to the interwebs to find out what's good and what's bad, what's available. Yeah, I'm starting to get used to this. Enough, plenty of power. I think it's 110 horsepower. I know the big new one's like 150, the 1300GS. It's a beast. And you see these guys on you know, these motorcycle channels, Motorcycle Daily. Let me show you how this thing runs. You know, and the guy's going through, you know, bog and single track, and he's on one wheel. Yeah, it's all interesting. I'm gonna be 67 this year, and I'm not doing any of that. Those days are gone. We're down here by the Naples airport. It's a pretty cool little airport. Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. It dipped in there. It's the tight turns that are way different than the other bikes. Yeah, it's fine. This is plenty. You hear it popping? Yeah, you know, when you let off the gas. That's an unhappy injector right there. Not too bad though. We'll see if we can run it out. We'll run it for a few weeks. And then I think they make an upgrade to these injectors actually. Now I get the hype on this bike. I was like, okay, GS, GS, what's the big deal, right? But I get it. These things are nice. And this is a 2008. This is not even, you know, this is a couple of generations back now. Few, three, right? This is a nice motorcycle. Maybe because it's the first day I'm riding it, but you know, I'm at the point where I don't want to put it back. I don't want to keep riding it. But I got stuff I got going on, and I'm not going to ride it much longer. But with that said, that's what a motorcycle should be, right? You get on a bike, you ride it, you don't want to put it back. You do not want to go back and put it in the garage. That's not what I want to do. I want to ride. And this bike gives you that. It makes you want to ride. Alright, I convinced myself. I'm not going to put it away yet. I'm going to go a little bit further, a few more minutes on it. The sun's in, there's lots of cloud cover, it's cool. They could have worn my jacket. That's another thing. If somebody could tell me what jacket they wear in 95-degree weather and yet it still gives you some level of protection, let me know. Because I'm having a hard time putting that jacket on at 95-degree weather. And I know it's the old saying, right? Dress for the slide, not the ride, whatever, however it goes. I get it, but man, when you get to your destination, you're a sweaty mess. Wearing the jacket and the gear. I bought pants. I got a couple of pants that I will have to try them yet. But you know, never did that stuff when I was younger. And I've been riding a long time. But that doesn't make it any better. I am sure I get a lot of comments that'll say that doesn't make it any better. You just got lucky. Maybe. But I don't want to say anything to the contrary. It's luck. Certainly don't want to jinx myself. Because I'm a bit superstitious. Wow. Now this bike was put away, I think, like in 2010. And it didn't see the light of day, or it didn't start up until 2026. 16 years dormant. And it's doing pretty good. That's the other thing they were saying at BMW. Oh, it's an old bike, you know. It might look good, but you know, things start to really deteriorate. They like to be run and all. Yes, I know. But it's only got 1,000 miles on it, dude. What would you say if it was in a box? Sitting in the box the whole time. What would you say about that? What if it was new old stock? Would you be making the same statements? I don't think so. I mean, it's not like it's been sitting around for 16 years and it's got 20,000 miles on it. It's got 1,000 miles on it. Alright, we're gonna bring this thing back to the barn. This was a nice ride though. This was nice. I stand rock-footed with my knees bent. I don't know how high these bikes are. They always complain. I got it on an African Twin years ago. Man, I was on tiptoes on that thing. It's like, how high is this thing? I got 32-inch seam here. This one, I thought it was like 32. So I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's probably like 30 inches. That's what it feels like to me. The 30-inch seat height. Because it's not the adventure bike, it's a regular GS. So I know they're a little shorter than the adventure bike is. Yeah, that's pretty quick. Got some power. Move this thing back. And it's a little loose. Not as fast as the other three, I can tell you that, but plenty of power. You don't need any more than that. My first day having it at home. Awesome. You know, it's first day running anyway, and I'm really pleased with it. So, till next time, God bless and keep riding.